Welcome to Creative Pages with Catherine. I'm Catherine, and it's time for sketch number 1 from the November 2023 Creative Memories virtual crop. You all have voted on the community tab of my YouTube channel, and Nordic Winter was a winner. So that's why I am doing these last two sketches showing Nordic Winter a couple of different ways. The last one had a little bit more of the greens and golds bit, and this one is going to be a little bit more blue. So let me show you here and get things switched over. Always takes a couple of steps here. There we go. Nope, wrong one. Hang on. There we go. All right. That's what you want to see, right? I am going to be working with both of the new punches this time. I have the Treeline Border Maker cartridge and the Snow-Capped Mountains decorative border punch that I am using for this layout. I just liked the look of them layered down here, and I'll show you in just a moment. Well, actually, you can probably see right here what I've done, but I'll explain it a little bit more coming up as well. I'm going to hold this up just in case somebody wants to get a screenshot with the measurements of what I'm doing. And as you can see, I'm also working on my 13 by 13 cutting mat because I have a little bit of a tricky measurement and I want to make sure I get things straight across the page because they did 3 by 3 photos running through the center in the sketch, and I'm going to do 4 by 6. So you're going to get to see that interpretation of that. I'm using the navy, kind of almost like a worn wallpaper look that has another one that I thought would be a little bit harder to work with, but it also matches our border sticker that we're going to be using. So I thought that was a little bit ironic that, it might be difficult to use as an entire page, but you can use it as a touch of a highlight on the page as well. So, do you want to know about let's talk about the border first. So this one I put a piece of navy cardstock with our Snow-Capped Mountain border punch, and then I used a piece of our white shimmer for the trees because I just really wanted it to pop. Now you could do this in reverse or however you want to do it, but that was what I just thought looked really well with the mats that we're going to be using coming up. And let me grab my repositionable tape real quick. I put it away thinking I wasn't going to need it, and then of course I need it for all these mountain tops here. Let's just do this real quick and catch this bottom edge a bit. Maybe we'll add a little bit of regular tape in just to give it a little bit of extra through the middle here. Not that it really needs it, since the repositionable tape does get a little tackier as it stays on the page, but that's okay. So that's going to go exactly at the bottom of the page. Now, I did cut the tree line at 1 inch, and actually it was probably a little bit closer to 7/8 of an inch based on the top of this tree here, the tallest tree. And then I cut the Snow-Capped Mountains at 1 3/4 inches based again at the top of the peak here. When I went to layer these two, I left just a little bit, I don't even think it's 1/8 of an inch across the bottom of the navy showing through. So when I hold it up, you all can take a closer look at that as well. I did cut one of our 4.5 by 6.5 mats in half. It was the one with the green and the dots. It has these little stripes on the back, and I am going to be turning that a slightly different direction. This one was in our embellishment pack. So we're using one of our embellishments as well as either a journal box, or it could be a mat for a photo as well, depending on how you want to work things. And then I pulled out these two green ones that kind of have the silhouettes of the animals, and winter things with the kind of the matching one to the one I used in sketch number 4, and then the snowy evergreens on the front of that other one. So now you can kind of see where I was going with the snow-capped mountain punch and the white shimmer for the tree line at the bottom here. And oops, let's see if I can get this working here for me. There we go. So I decided before I started the live stream that I really want to do this at 2.5 inches from the bottom of my page. So the best way to do that is to put it on your 13 by 13 cutting mat. You can grab out your 0 centering ruler as well if that works better for you. But this just seems to take a lot of the guesswork out of it and make it really easy. I love my 0 centering ruler, but this one I think just needed our cutting mat. So I'm going at 2.5 inches on this end and 2.5 inches over here. So 1, 2.5 is 9.5 here, or 10.5 coming up, depending on which direction you're reading your mat from. 1, 2.5. Yes. Okay. So those two are lined up. And now I just need to place this other one in the middle of the two of them. So again, I'm using the 4x6 mats, just running through the center of the page this time. And then these are going to go up in the top here. And I wanted this one to run a slightly different direction. You know what? I think I got the one a little bit too high, didn't I? So this is going to have to go under. All right. I forgot about that. That's okay. And this one fits in here just fine because I want it kind of up against the top because the border sticker is going to go over part of this mat. And so it's going to be a little bit of strategic cutting when it's time to add the photos with these. But I really kind of wanted to... This one I think I did follow the sketch maybe a little bit more. Maybe. I don't know. Y'all can let me know in the comments if you think I followed it kind of or not. I just look at it and sometimes I just say, you know what, that would look really good with that. And so that's kind of how it's like putting a puzzle together for me a little bit. So this again is the sketch. And you can see where I turned this one for sure because I wanted to have just a little more space because I knew we're going to be adding this in here and this one going across down here, kind of in between. That's why I left this little bit of blue space, I guess, if you will, between these two mats here. So sketch, Catherine's version. I mean, again, larger pictures here because I just, I don't know. I don't like cutting my pictures down to 3 inches, I guess. And that's, if that's what you want to do, go for it. That's why they're sketches. They're open to interpretation. I just like giving you all some different ideas of what you can do with these as well. And so I'm just going to layer a little bit, just ever so slightly over the bottom edge of the mat. It's really not on there very much at all. I don't even know if I can show you all on the camera here. You can see the bottom of my mat is there. And this is the sticker here. So it's probably, again, this little space of like less than 1/8 of an inch there. But just enough to know it's there, I guess. And let's see, can I bring that close enough too? Maybe if I put my hand behind it. You can see that navy strip there. Okay. It's coming together. Little by little here. And yes, I am going to cover up a little bit more of my top mats here. This one is more than likely going to be my journal box, but this one will definitely hold a smaller photo because I'm going to get my 3 larger ones in here. Now I also pulled out some of the gorgeous enameled bits from our embellishment pack. They come in blue and green gems along with brown, but I just pulled out the smaller of the blue and the smaller of the green. And then I also pulled out a couple of stickers. So I have a pine branch and I've got a winter delight that I found on our sticker sheet. And I think this one is the one that's going to get popped up. Told you that, I can't go too many layouts without including the foam squares, can I? They just, I don't know, they just add so much. Oh, great. Now I'm dropping my, uh-oh. I guess that one's going there. Because I wound up smudging my paper just a little bit, so it's okay. We'll work with it, roll with it a little bit here. And pull this other one off. I've got my larger foam squares sticking to my fingers, but we're going to get it on here. There we go. I'm going to add a couple of extra ones just to the outside of the little ones for some extra support to keep our sticker up. And pull off the backs. Again, sticking to my fingernail. I don't know. There we go. Okay, so here, this one is going to go over here next to that with a pine branch. And you could pop up the pine branch and put this straight on the page. Either way, I think just one of these needs to get popped up just a little bit, just to add a little bit of extra interest to your page. And now the blue gems are going, these are all self-sticking, so I'm putting them right on the border sticker here. At least I think I am. There we go. Okay. They're a little tricky, I'll admit it, but I'm going to follow this, just the center of this line here, because I thought this one just needed just a little bit of something else. And so I thought these gems just kind of also help to break up the pattern. Because like I said, on that little short, I just seemed like this was one of those patterns that just is a little bit trickier to work with. And so if you give your eye a little bit of a break, I mean, your photos will do that too, but we're going to do it this way as well. And then on the bottom, I'm going to use the green gems, again, just to reinforce the colors on the page. So I had a little more green at the top of the page and a little more blue at the bottom. So I brought the blue in here, and I'm going to bring the green in here. And I know they say usually use your embellishments in odd numbers. It's a little more pleasing aesthetically for design, but we're going with 4 because 4 is what works. And at least for me on this page, if you want to figure out where to put a 5th one in or just do 3, that's up to you. I just thought it's centered better with the way that the mats are on the page as well. So I'd originally cut off 6 of each, and I just wound up using 4, which is fine. Those will go back in my embellishment pack. So here we go, y'all. This is it. This is done. Can you believe it already? That one seemed like a quick one. I think it was. So a half of a 4.5 by 6.5 mat, our embellishment, 3 4x6 mats. We've got our little gems. We've got our punched pieces. And we have our sketch. Hey, look, it's inspired by the sketch, right? How's about that? So if you like this one, leave me a comment. Let me know. Are you going to put 5 gems on yours or use the larger or a different color? Or are you going to go ahead and maybe try 4 gems as well? It's a little harder to get them to show up, but you can kind of see where it is breaking up that little bit of the design there. Let me see if this will help. There we go. Sometimes the lighting makes a little bit of a difference too. So leave me a thumbs up if you like it. Leave me a comment. Let me know. And that is it for this month's virtual crop. Can you believe it? I made it. we are done with that. And I know I still have a couple of sketch with me's that I'm a little bit behind on, but I'm getting there. I've got a couple more things to get through in life here first, and hopefully I will be able to get caught up on those soon as well. Thank you so much for watching. Until next time.